Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top. Man, awesome. A little tiny guitar signed by one of my very favorites. And what are you doing? Oh, good golly! I'm not scared. It's terrific. Thank you for joining me. I do truly appreciate it. Come on in. The water's fine. Take your shoes off. Please don't put your shoes in my water. Today I want to talk about a box that I got in the mail. It's a Suntup box, but it's not a Suntup book. Don't get your hopes up. I do have a Suntup book coming. It's the numbered edition of Omen. And by David Seltzer, numbered edition. Looks so good. I can't wait to get that book on the shelf in my hands, my grubby little mitts all over it. But today I want to talk about a box that I got in the mailbox from a guy named Mark Masztal. And I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry, Mark, if it's not right. But that's how I would say it if I was the guy that decided to say names the way they're supposed to be said. Anyway, the weird thing about the world today, we live in a weird world. When I was growing up as a kid in we'll say the late 70s or the 80s, and you said, I know a guy, or I got a buddy who, or I got a friend who, it's somebody that you played with, that you worked with, that you lifted weights with, that you drank beer with, or sodas, or ate candy bars with, or watched ball games with, something like that. But anymore, it's kind of weird. You can say that about people that you've never even met before, just because you smash them buttons and you talk to them on the internets and all that stuff. Anyway, I am a book collector, and I mess around in some book collecting groups, and I make some silly videos on the YouTube and stuff like that. And a fellow named Mark Masztal has been chatting with me for a while about different things, and one day he says, hey, I ought to send you a package. Cool. There's nothing better than opening a mailbox and having something in there. No doubt about it. But Mark is an artist, a graphic designer, did comics and stuff like that, and now is an author and also, I think, graphic design. But he's got a few books out, and I think he hooked a brother up. Anyway, let's open this thing up and see what he sent me, and then we'll talk a little bit about the stuff. So, Mark, I think, is at a place in Williamsburg, Virginia right now, Scares That Cares, an author con. And I'm no author, but I like going to places where authors are. And I was born very near Williamsburg, Virginia, back in '76. My dad was in the Navy, and so Williamsburg was a place that they frequented when I was just a little bitty baby boy. Anyway, Mark hooked me up with a Suntup box, and the Suntup box has the Suntup foam, making sure that all sorts of weaponry could not damage the books. And here they are. They, sure enough, sent me a couple of books in a Suntup box. Thank you, Mark. Let's take a look at which one. Let's take a look at this first one here. Resurrection Sam is a weird Western collection, a collection of short stories featuring Resurrection Sam. And I do dig this kind of stuff. First of all, look at this cover. You'd think an artist, a graphic designer, a guy who was doing comics for a while would have good artwork on his books, and sure enough, these do look good. But Weird Westerns, I'm a fan, and I've just barely dipped my toes, my little toes down there, not my fingers, in the Weird Western genre. And I started with Joe R. Lansdale. He's written some cool Weird Western stuff, and I've liked it. And I'm looking right here. I got this stupid pumpkin-faced guy in the way right here. Dead in the... Stay. He won't stay. I mashed this button, and now he's TO'd at me. Dead in the West, and I think that's what got me started in Weird Western. It's probably the very first one I ever got into. And Reverend Jebediah Mercer is the character from there. I really dug it, and I hope we're going to get some more of that from Joe Lansdale. But that's probably my first foray into weird westerns. And that's westerns that feature monsters, zombies, vampires, all sorts of cool stuff. And let's see what Resurrection Sam gets involved with. The undead, ghouls, vampires, hairy mountain men, sand devils, and evil Native American shamans. So cool stuff, man. Thanks, Mark. I'm really excited to get into it and read up on this collection of short stories. And Mark told me that he's got a sequel to this coming out called Decades sometime next year, I think he said. And he hooked the brother up, signed, and there we go. Can you see that? There we go. Look at that. Hooked the brother up. Looks cool, man. Thanks a lot, Mark. I do appreciate it. Can't wait to jump into this collection of short stories. And here is our talk, otherwise known to the common folks as the table of contents. Silly. Anyway, there's our table of contents. The stories for those of you who are looking into it. Look up Mark Masztal. He's got books for sale on Amazon. I think he's got one of his books is on Goodreads. Check it out. I can't wait to get into this weird Western story collection. The neat thing about weird Westerns and the short story collections, Lansdale did it too, is that you can get some really wide variety on the types of creatures or monsters or whatever that your main character is taking on. Instead of spending 300 plus pages on this main character on one adventure, you get a whole bunch of small adventures, and it gives you a lot of variety and a lot of fun. So maybe that's the best way to attack weird westerns. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I like it. I liked it. So I'm looking forward to that one. And here is a novella called Blood in the Water. Take a Bite Before It Bites You, Stephen Murphy. And I actually looked this one up a little bit because somehow this book got on my radar, and I looked it up, and I was just reading a little bit about it, and it gave me some familiar vibes. It almost, I thought of course, Jaws. Of course, I thought of Jaws, but I also thought of Clive Cussler and his Dirt Pit series with these people doing underwater stuff in his books. I read a bunch of those. I liked them a lot. But then I kind of got some Godzilla vibes and stuff like that too. So they say a mixture of science and fiction. I want to know what that'd be like. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this one. Thanks for hooking a brother up, Mark. I do truly appreciate it. And I'm going to jump right in. And, let's see what he wrote on here. Let's see. So open this up. I got a bookmark. Neat. A bookmark. What a mark. Check it out. A bookmark from Mark. So there's some. Scan that. Go on there, QR code, scan that and see what it gets you. Tell them I sent you, and you might get nothing. I don't know. Anyway, holy, look there. That is in the way. Some hidden artwork in there. What is that? That's cool. Quote from Douglas Adams. Very cool. Dead in the Water. So I'm looking forward to that one, and Mark did sign it. And he said, to Tim, let me know if it's terrific. March of 2023. So another one I'm looking forward to getting into. I don't know if it's Peter Benchley or Clive Cussler or Meg or Jaws or none of those or some of all of those. But I'm really excited. Meg, was that Steve Alton? What was his name? The guy that wrote that. Anyway, that's not this. But I'm excited to jump in. Thanks a lot, Mark. I can't wait. Mark's got some more stuff coming up. I told you about the sequel to Resurrection Sam. There's also a sequel to Blood in the Water. I think that one is coming out summer of 2023. Summer of this year. Right now it is spring of 2023. So that one's coming out soon. And he also said that he had a sci-fi survivalist book. And I want to know what that'd be like, because that sounds cool. Survivalist sci-fi. Sounds neat. I'm going to have to check that one out too. Anyway, I can think of no more lies to tell. I do truly appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me. C'est la vie. baby. Dude. Why'd you do that to me, you stinking jerk? I thought we had a deal. Good God, he did it again. Don't push that button.